That's great. I'm thinking I'm getting in a little bit of a panic here because I realized that I think I have any med kits left, and then I'm worried that I'm coming to the end of the game, and basically I realized that if I start taking any more shots, I'm going down. Right about now would be a great time to switch over to, once again, the force gun. Just as a force of habit, I keep holding off on it because I want to conserve ammo. I know how good it is, and I don't know, I just always feel like there's going to be some situation later on where I need it. I need to save it for, and the reality is that situation is now. Hindsight's great. So point is, I don't have a lot of experience. I don't feel like I should be outperforming almost anybody on consoles, but the reality of it is, I am, and I don't understand why. Basically, we loaded up zombies the other day, and we loaded up last week, and I just got savagely mauled. Basically, Bruce more or less carried me to level 16 or something by himself. And I was really frustrated. It was embarrassing, even though I didn't have any experience. But still, I was pathetic. I needed to be able to basically hold my own weight, right? So I played around by myself. I did solo, did a few matchmakings with randoms. Learned some basics about the level. Refamiliar my... Look at that fucking just absolute wreck juice. Just shitting all over these guys with a force gun. That is insane. You just can't be stopped. So anyway, we went and played again the other day, a couple days later, and I think we made it to 22. But this is, Bruce and I didn't go down the entire game except for when we were trying to get these yokels up. But they're really cool. So we ended up playing, it was the two of us and then two randoms. Well, what was so fascinating, and it's the insight that I wanted to share with you from that experience, is there's a magical barrier that it seems like most average players seem to hit. And for everyone, it's a little different. I don't know exactly where that is, but there is this wall that they get to a certain point and they basically just cannot take it anymore. And I'll give it to these guys that they did really, really well for the most part. I was surprised at how well... Oh my... Look at this. Ridiculous. Just got ambushed by these things again. Switching over the assault rifle. I'm going to try to long range this thing. I can barely make anything out. I guess I'm shooting those yellow nutsacks down there. No more health kits, I don't think, so let's hope I make it through this. So basically what happened, we got two randoms that were doing pretty well, right? And I think it was they made it till about level 14, level 15 without going down too many times. And it was around level 14, level 15 where, like I said, we crossed a magical boundary and they could no longer basically draft off of us anymore. I think Bruce and I were both at 6, 7, 800 kills or something like that by the end of this thing, and they were, far, far less, about a quarter of those kills. But what's fascinating is how you can take, I remember this from 42 now, how you can take two average guys, right, and you get them on your team, and essentially what happens is their scores just go through the roof, you know what I mean? Like they're amazing. Their scores may end up even beating your own. But then if the teams, you go to round 2 and the teams swap around and rebalance themselves and they're on the other team, like they suddenly go back to just being your average Joe players again, and their scores are worthless and they don't do anything special the entire time. And it's just a really strange, it's a really strange, I guess, phenomenon. I don't quite understand why. I'd imagine that basically up until a certain point, when it gets to a certain point where you can't pull their weight for them, or you can only do so much, and when it gets beyond that certain point and they have to fend for themselves, they simply can't do that. And apparently if you're playing zombies, at least with the guys we were playing with a few days ago, that was somewhere around level 15. By the end of the game, you know, Bruce and I hadn't gone down at all, except for, like I said, once or twice a piece, and that was when we're trying to save these yokels. And they collectively together had gone down, I don't know, I think it was probably over 40 times. It's, I don't know, and it also surprises me, like I said, just because I have so little console experience. I don't feel like I should be going in and dominating zombies or something like that, or doing well. Like, I don't get how somebody with thousands of hours of Xbox experience is not just massacring me and stomping on my fucking dick all day. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. I really wish I could understand it. Like I said, we saw very, very similar things in 42. It was always hilarious because we recognized that after a while, you know, we would load in and start swarming and beating balls. And the guys on our team, it was so funny how it happens. So the dudes on your team would start talking shit to the guys on the other team, right? Like how terrible and how awful they are and how they need to learn how to play. And so then we would intentionally switch teams. And even in the same round, like Battlefield Vietnam, it was always fun with the advent of choppers that were so... If you were a great chopper pilot, you know, you really had the ability to go in and just dominate hardcore. So even in the same round, we would go in and smash one side as Team A, and then, you know, before Team A had won, switch over to Team B and make a complete comeback. And then the same guys that had been talking shit are now getting their shit pushed in, and then now Team B is talking shit to Team A. It's completely absurd. So it's pretty funny, and I really don't understand it, like I said, and I refuse to believe, I guess, that I'm that much better or something like that. I don't know what it is. I think I've said it for a long time. I don't feel like I'm some amazing player or anything like that. I just feel like everybody else doesn't. I don't know. I just don't feel like maybe other people don't take it as seriously as I do. That could easily be it. And yeah, I don't know. To me, Zombies is a fun game and something that was fun enough that I took it seriously enough to spend a few hours figuring basic things out. But it's definitely not on the level that I say 42 was or something like that. So I don't know. You know, it's kind of like the I'm not good but you're bad sort of deal, if that makes any sense. I don't know that it necessarily does. That guy didn't have a head or a tail and he was still coming after me. So, I don't know, it's just pretty interesting. I'm curious to know what everybody else thinks, if they've had similar experiences or not. I think, hopefully, like I said, once I get some new internet, do some really, really fun stuff, which Bruce suggested the other day, related to some old Left 4 Dead style videos of doing, oh my god, just wreck juice. Which is, you know, doing some zombies and stuff like that, and actually doing split screen videos. So I think that would be a lot of fun. Basically where you guys are watching both of our screens at the same time, and that way you get the perspective of what it's like to be both of us, what both of us are, you know, you see what we're seeing both of us in real time and what both of us are doing in real time. And I think too it'll be really interesting even for me, because I've occasionally seen his console videos, and he moves much, much faster than I do. His sensitivity is set much higher than my own. I just can't handle something very high yet. My accuracy isn't, like I said, it's ass. But I don't know, maybe it's not as bad as I think it is. I don't know. I don't know if it's like my expectations for myself are much higher than what most people approach the game. I think one of the things we've talked about from time to time is the difference between like what we classify as fun compared to what some other people classify as fun. And you know, to me fun is by the way, you can't dodge that, so that's ridiculous. To me, fun is winning. Fun is dominating, and it's enjoyable to do that with your teammates. You know, that you can laugh and have a blast with at the same time. But I don't know. Like, would I say I'm not having fun if I'm losing? Probably. If my team is getting demolished and I'm doing extraordinarily well, I might not be quite as inclined to say that I'm not having fun, but, you know, for the most part, I'm having the most fun when I'm absolutely murdering somebody. And, you know, if I'm not the best person out there by a landslide, like, it's, I don't know, that's why I want to play harder and harder and harder. That's why I don't know, I don't necessarily think that everybody plays games the same way, and I think that's why I guess sometimes it feels like it's the difference between, like, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely executed his shit. You know, you wrestle around with your friends or something like that when you're younger, and you've always got, like, that one friend who goes, like, 110%. Everyone thinks he's an asshole. And that's kind of what it feels like, I guess, when you play games, is that it's not that you're necessarily competing on the same, you know, you have same levels of skills or something like that, and you're winning in an even-based match. It just feels like everybody's sort of walking and you're running. I don't know if that makes any sense. That's what it feels like sometimes. Best way I can explain it. So, back to the game here. This is one of the most inane endings in a video game I have ever seen. So one of the mistakes I made here early on, you can see me kind of get my ass kicked by these guys. I don't think you have ammo. I don't know if you have unlimited ammo or what. But you definitely need to use some cover to your advantage. Otherwise they will just form a circle around you, swarm, and gangbang you. And essentially all you need to do is shoot that chick, and then a heart opens up on this tentacle statue, and then that's the game. This is definitely an easier gun to use. I don't like how slow it takes to switch between weapons, otherwise I'd just be using the force gun right now. I'm plowing my way through everything. I've held my finger down on this trigger for a long time. Like I said, I think you have unlimited ammo here. Do I have any idea of what's going on right now? No, not in the slightest. At all. That's the ending to that game. So my thoughts on it the first time around were something along the lines of, wow, that felt a lot like the original Dead Space. Just the whole game, I didn't get what the difference was. It essentially just recreated the original scenario. My thoughts on this, I guess the second time around, are see previous thoughts. To be honest, it just really felt like the developers were like, okay, we're rushed for time here, guys. Let's throw something in and just call it good. And they did. That's pretty much it. I did have a few little, actually very wonky experiences. That final scene that it showed where it was just telling you it was flashing that E on the screen where it looked like all I needed to do was hit A. To be honest, I mean, it's embarrassing. I think I did that scene probably a good 7 or 8 times. Maybe it's my keyboard, I really don't think so, but if all you do is hit E, it's not enough. You die every time, and I could not figure out what was happening. It's like maybe I'm not hitting it fast enough, or maybe I need to hit it in a certain sequence. I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know what's going on. Like because I'm playing on Zealot difficulty, maybe there's something else going on that it's not telling me about. So what ended up happening was I was like, okay, so hitting E is obviously not working here, and I'm never going to win this thing if that's all I'm doing. So what I ended up doing was hitting basically E and a few other buttons, E, R, whatever, spacebar, plus moving my mouse, trying to hitting my mouse buttons, and then it worked perfectly. I tested it again just to try that one more time, and it also worked. I don't know exactly what button it was I was hitting, but I had to hit a fuck ton more than just E. I don't know exactly why that is. It did that on every single little cinematic cutscene you saw where that E popped up. That was the same situation, so no idea why. I don't know if they're going to be able to do a Dead Space 3. It seems like they pretty much just reused the content from 1 in order to make 2. So I think if they made a 3 and it was anything like this at all, it would be very, very, very disappointing. So I think this will probably be the end of it for Dead Space. But once again, knowing EA, I'll probably just end up eating my words later on. I do want to say too, I got my recorder in, which means I have a way to get some audio in there for extended amounts of time, which means that you guys can expect some more lull. And like I said, also be on the lookout for The Witcher 2. I think that comes out on the 17th. So thanks a lot for watching the series, and I hope you guys stick around for more in the future.